Number one is work on your physical health. I think this one is pretty obvious. Everyone talks about it. Essentially, exercise regularly, eat healthy and get good consistent sleep. There's obviously a load of things you can do to improve your mental health, but they are the things that will give you the greatest return. Those things will result in lower stress, more energy, more self-confidence, which will lead to better relationships and just a healthier mindset. Every aspect of your life will get easier. Plus, you'll live longer and have a higher quality of life. And I'm not saying that you need to be eating the cleanest diet ever or working out every single day to get the mental benefits. As long as you're in the process of improving your physical health in some way, that's enough. And, improving your sleep and diet and exercise won't solve all your life problems, but it will make handling them 10 times easier. Step 1, be in the process of improving your physical health. And moving on to point number 2, find purpose in what you do. Having direction in life and actively working towards something, having hope and looking forward to stuff in the future is a huge part of good mental health. Whenever you feel depressed or sad or hopeless, it tends to be a sign that you're not growing. And it's when people don't have an aim in life that those feelings usually turn up. There's a few ways to go about giving yourself purpose. I think for me, creating a sort of vision for myself was one of those ways. Basically, I've got a note in Obsidian called My Vision, and it's basically just some notes on how I would like my life to go. So in my vision note, there's things like my life code, which is essentially just a collection of pieces of life advice that I've came across and I've sort of tweaked in my own way. Then I've got notes like my might do list and my ideal future, which gives me a rough idea of what I'm hoping to get out of the future. Then on a more practical level, I've got my missions note, which is sort of like goals and habits and stuff like that. And moving on to point number 3, build strong relationships. Having close relationships and maintaining those relationships is an essential part of keeping your mental health in a positive state. Like I mentioned at the start, definitely work on yourself and your physical state, but then use that gained energy to focus on others. So do selfless things for others, make people smile, try putting yourself in other people's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. And it all comes down to just good people do things for other people, right? Full stop. Essentially, follow the golden rule. So I'm not religious, but the feeling you get from other people doing nice things for you, you can give to others, and reminding yourself that you can do that more often can be useful. And I think most people would say that going out your way to do things for others is pretty selfless, but it's not really, because yes, you're doing something for another person, but you're getting a little dopamine hit out of it as well. So whenever you can, try to enhance your people skills. So for some, this will come naturally, and for others, they'll need to practice. I'm definitely in that second category where I sort of need to force myself to meet people outside my comfort zone and be a good listener and show curiosity towards people. And the more you practice socialising, being around people, the easier it becomes. And yeah, it's just one of the best skills that you can have in life. At the end of the day, it's not all about you. Imagine if doing something nice for someone made them feel good. That might feel nice, right? We're not meant to go through life alone. And actually recently seen a new statistic that came out that 1 in 4 people will never be in a relationship, and that just seems insane to me. I don't think there's a single person in the world who on their deathbed would regret not spending enough time on their phone, or would regret not spending enough time alone. Almost all of the deathbed regrets that you hear about are around relationships. So one of the best things you can do for your long-term happiness is to have as much positive, strong relationships as you can. So for me, the 3 things that I've mentioned so far, so working on your physical health and finding purpose in what you do and building strong relationships, those are the essential core things that I think are needed for good mental health. If you can be in the process of improving at each of those throughout your life, I think you'll do just fine. But there's one more thing that I thought I would add on for the people who really want to maximise their happiness and well-being, and that is level up your awareness. So becoming more aware of your thoughts, feelings, unconscious negative beliefs is super useful when it comes to optimising your mental health. I feel like the more self-aware you are, the less you feel the need to fix yourself. When you really understand that there's thousands of people in a similar situation to you who are completely happy without the things you tell yourself you need to be happy, it just makes life easier. I've spoke about this in a previous video, but 95% of your behaviours are controlled by your mind. The majority of the problems people face on a daily basis are just happening in your head, and the better you become at noticing those and just sitting with them, the happier you'll be. Pretty much all negative feelings come from being lost in thought and thinking without knowing you're thinking, right? Your anxiety, anger, sadness, whatever it is, they're just visitors, and if you can remind yourself in the moment that these feelings will pass, you'll be happier. And when you stop identifying with them, they have less control over you. So meditation and journaling are probably the best ways to level up your self-awareness. But another method is just learning about awareness. So there's obviously loads of videos and there's books you can get, just learn about awareness. Then once you've built up your skill of awareness, one of the best things you can do is work on your gratitude, because whether it's working on your physical health or building stronger relationships or finding purpose in what you do, all those things will be 10 times more rewarding if you stop and appreciate the progress that you've made. At the end of the day, life's too short for overthinking and just getting lost in your thoughts. The odds of you being born were 1 in 400 trillion. So if you're here, you may as well make the most of it. Well, not make the most of it, but try to make the most of it. And as a final reminder that if you are feeling behind in life, you don't need to have mastered all of these things that I've just mentioned. You just need to be in the process of working on those things. That's enough. It's all a process, so start small, be patient with yourself, keep moving forward, and don't forget to appreciate the small wins along the way.